A very warm welcome, viewers, to yet another episode of the Indian Lawyer Legal Tips. I am Sushila Varma, Chief Consultant at the firm the Indian Lawyer and Allied Services. Today we bring to you a topic which is of great relevance in today's virtual world. Since COVID, all of us have shifted from the physical to the virtual. What is it that we are not doing online? I would think that we are doing practically everything online. We are shopping online, we are having meetings online, we are meeting social events online, and most importantly, as far as lawyers are concerned, we have started attending courts online. Now, what does this make us all think? So what is the inference that we can now draw? The inference is that life can become much easier if we do things virtually. One of the best things that we could possibly do as lawyers for our clients is that we could encourage online dispute resolution. Online dispute resolution, better known as ODR, is a new way of deciding or settling disputes from the traditional court-based dispute resolution mechanisms or other mechanisms such as physical arbitrations, lok adalats, etc. Recently, technology has started running in our lives like a red line and touches every aspect of our life. So why don't we look at this method of sorting out our disputes, which would not only be very efficient, it would be cost effective, and most importantly, it would help us to resolve disputes very easily, unlike what happens in a court of law where it takes year after year. I think first we should discuss what is the role of the government in recognizing ODR. In 2021, November 29, 2021, the Niti Aayog released a report on online dispute resolution, which was named as Designing the Future of Dispute Resolution, the ODR Policy Plan for India. This was a plan, or rather this was a policy that set about how citizens of India could access justice in a speedy and timely manner. Hence, the first basis for the ODR began with this ODR policy plan for India, which came about in 2021. Now that we have discussed the government policy, let us understand what is the legal status of online dispute resolution in India. ODR is permitted in India provided that both parties who have a dispute have agreed or consented to use this particular method of resolving their disputes. It can be employed in all situations except where physical presence is required by the law. The legal framework basically would find its basis in the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, which encourages ADR, and today ADR, that is alternate dispute resolution, includes online dispute resolution. Hence, ADR is recognized by our civil law. Over and above that, there are certain other laws which also have a bearing on ODR. One of them would be the Arbitration Act 1996, which sets the basis for conciliation, arbitration, as well as mediation. Apart from this, we also have the Information Technology Act 2000, which sets the basis on which online disputes can be resolved. Putting all these laws together, we have a legal mechanism by which an alternate dispute resolution is recognized under the law. we should now dwell upon how online dispute resolution became popular. I would say this is one of the few good things of COVID 19. It is because of COVID 19 that people realized that they did need an online dispute resolution mechanism to solve their differences. The Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, has emphasized the critical role of online dispute resolution during the COVID 19 pandemic in an ODR handbook which was recently released by Niti Aayog. He pointed out that traditional litigation can be very often time consuming and burdensome, whereas ODR would be a good way to elevate these issues and reduce congestion in court. He stressed at the importance of digital solutions in the judicial process and recognized the increasing digital penetration in India supported by the higher judiciary. Overall, the growing adoption of ODR is extremely essential for modernizing dispute resolution in India. There are therefore several platforms that have now come up which have introduced the ODR mechanism and which are calling people to try and sort out the differences through this media. If the public were to accept this as a form of dispute resolution, believe me, it would become so much easier not only for them but also for the congested courts. Now let us come to the end of this episode by dwelling on the advantages of ODR. The first I would say would be speedy resolution. If both parties are agreeable to sort their differences in an out-of-court way, that would obviously ensure that there is a speedy resolution. Secondly, there would be cost effectiveness. It would eliminate geographical barriers and associated travel expenses, making it a much more affordable option for parties involved. Thirdly, there would be avoidance of certain jurisdictional challenges. ODR effectively sidesteps complex jurisdictional issues that can arise because of geographical limitations, transforming the dispute resolution process into a more accessible service. Now, another very important aspect of ODR is that it facilitates cross-border dispute resolution, especially today when all e-commerce activities have now crossed the border and there are e-commerce activities across the globe. I think this cross-border dispute resolution is an extremely important way of resolving disputes that arise in business to business or business to consumer transactions. Now, there are, of course, certain challenges that the ODR system is been facing and will be facing for some time. These, I would say, primarily would be digital literacy. ODR requires a certain level of digital literacy as a prerequisite. In India, digital literacy often varies across the age, ethnicity, and geography. This digital divide needs to be addressed to ensure that ODR is adopted by society at large and not get limited to only the urban areas of India. Apart from this, there is the requirement for digital infrastructure. A broad-based adoption of ODR will require essential technology infrastructure across the country. Then there has to be an awareness made to the public in ODR services. A lot of the people in the country do not trust this emerging technology, and as such, convincing these people would be one major step. We have initiated this episode on ODR only to bring this knowledge to one and all because it is a very easy way to access justice. Finally, there is the privacy and confidentiality concern that many people would have. Greater integration of technology and reduced face-to-face interactions create new challenges for privacy and confidentiality, especially in dispute resolution. I would say in conclusion that the development of ODR mechanism aims to provide fast and cost-effective solutions, and as such, it should be encouraged and it should be allowed to evolve in the landscape of dispute resolution. As the online marketplace expands, increasing public awareness and offering training on ODR has become very crucial. Government involvement is, of course, vital for the success of ODR initiatives because we need the financial support and the development of the infrastructure. However, all in all, as a lawyer who has practiced for more than 30 years, I would say that online dispute resolution is an excellent way to resolve disputes if both parties are agreeable. Not only does it resolve disputes faster, but it is also a more cost-effective way, and one can easily foster conflict resolution by this particular method. And I would also say that if there is cross-border disputes and this can be resolved by ODR, then this would encourage more and more businesses to come and operate in India. Dear viewers, with this we will close this episode. We would encourage you to read as much as you can on ODR. You can also write to us if you have any issues. We ourselves are planning to start a platform for ODR at the Indian Lawyer and Allied Services. If you have found this episode useful, please like, share and subscribe, and please help us to spread this knowledge across several parts of the country. With this, I will say Namaste and thank you very much for watching this episode. We shall meet again next week. Till then, Namaste and have a good day ahead. Thank you.